Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here, bringing you hopefully the final installment on our EDC to inch bag system. But before we get into the final episode here, I wanted to share with you my thoughts on bugging out. Now, my current situation is I'm in a major metropolitan area, live in the suburbs, thus the name suburban, and we're about 28 miles from a nuclear power plant that has had some difficulties in the past. That's my biggest concern right now, because that could be a victim of terrorism, it could be a victim of human error. And if that nuclear power plant decides it's going to melt down for whatever reason, and the wind is blowing in the wrong direction, somebody's going to be knocking on my door saying, get out of town. We're that close to it. Our primary bug out location is about 55 miles northwest of here. With a quick packing discipline, we can combine our everyday carry person, everyday carry bags, our 72-hour get-home bags, our get-out-of-Dodge bags, our inch bags, and everything fits in the Jeep, and we can be ready to go in less than an hour. Bugging out really does require decision-making of the depth of, is this life or death? In the event we're going to be involved in a terrorist attack, civil unrest, gangs marauding in the streets, pillaging, raping, whatever they're going to be doing, it may be the right decision to bug out. But you've got to really consider the importance of leaving behind the security and the knowledge of your own home and your own homestead, and the knowledge that you have of your neighbors, who you can trust, who you can't trust, who's going to be there for you, that kind of a thing. You've got to weigh that very heavily before you make the decision that, oh, it's time to bug out. The most dangerous places to be in the event of a crisis type situation, whether it's man-made or natural, is on the highways. Trying to drive. If you can remember the scenarios and the movies and the newsreels of people trying to get out of the Katrina path, all the highways out of that southern Louisiana area were jam-packed bumper to bumper with the people trying to get out of town. Things got bottlenecked, cars broke down, there were accidents, people got hot-headed. It's going to happen in any kind of a high-stress situation like that. We've already mapped out 3 different routes to get to our bug-out location. One takes us on the interstate and then to a 4-lane highway that takes us to the closest town nearby where our bug-out location is. There's alternate routes that bypass the interstates and the 4-lane highways, and we can take backcountry roads through very rural areas, tiny little towns along the way. It's about 5 miles longer in total, but it gets us there without having to go through any metropolitan areas and keeps us off the interstates. In these bug-out bags, we've each got a sleep system, extra clothing, including a windbreaker, wool socks. We've got food in the form of MREs and a couple of snack packs. We've got fire starting equipment, we've got some basic first aid equipment, we've got a few tools, a multi-tool, a knife, personal hygiene items that we're going to need along the way. And these bags are ready right by the door to toss in the Jeep when we have to make that fateful decision to bug out. They're designed to complement our get-home bags, which are with us all the time in the Jeep. These are going to be grabbed when it's time to go, along with some other things, and I'll get into that in the next segment, so stay tuned. And this is our inch bag system. Actually, there's 3 bags involved in this system. You can see over here, this is the K Cliffs sports bag. It's a hockey bag for hockey equipment. Big enough to fit quite a lot of goodies. We can get the tent in there, we can get the Coleman propane stove in there, we can get the Kelly kettle in there, 2 extra cans of propane fuel, some emergency fire starting stuff over there, 2 sleeping bags, and then the other 2 bags is a range bag that's got ammo for our weapons, and we've also got the shotgun case or rifle case that we will throw in and either put the 12 gauge in or the 22 rifle in, depending on the situation that's forcing us to actually bug out of our home location. All this is going to fit in the back of the Jeep. Very quick, very easy to load, and we're going to have pretty much everything we need to make it to our bug out location, primary, which is about 50 or 55 miles from here, or our secondary bug out location, which can be as many as 500 miles away. So that's what we've got put together in our Get Out of Dodge, I'm Never Coming Home bags system. Packing for our getaway, get out of Dodge, never coming home scenario. We've got the 2 bug out bags that I just showed you on either side of the emergency FatMax power station. Sitting on top of that is the Coleman 6-man tent. We've got 7 gallons of water in the blue container on that side. We've got a container of Mountain House foods over here that should last about a week or so. Got dog food for the dog. The bag in the center's got clothing in it. And the INCH bag is on top, and that, remember, has the sleeping bags, the Coleman stove, and a few other items that are going to be absolutely necessary. It's got a tarp in there. So we should be ready for phase 2 for the final pack before we go. Alright, bug out, never coming home, load up of the Jeep phase 2, put the extension in here with 2 5-gallon jerry cans full of gas, a cooler that's empty right now but would be full of food and ice, that kind of stuff, hopefully enough to get us there. The back is packed and there's still a little bit of extra room in there for a few extra things. The back seat's empty, big enough for our dog to sit in, and we're ready to go. The extra 10 gallons of gas should get us an extra 250 miles or maybe even 300 miles if we need to. The Jeep's normally got a full tank of gas. I think there's about 5/8 of a tank in there today. With a fill up before we go, we've got an effective range here of about 600 or 700 miles, so we can easily make the 500-mile trip to the secondary bug out location, and certainly make the trek to the 55 mile away primary bug out location. So that's how we're going to do it, and as I said in the opening, we really have to be facing a matter of life and death. Well, friends, I hope some of my ideas and some of the planning that we've put into our everyday carry to INCH bag system has been helpful to you. My philosophy on bugging out's already been explained. It's truly a life or death situation. This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always. Prepared Suburbanite out for now.